What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. That's if you're up. If you ain't, I'm gonna understand. Normally I say go ahead and get up and start that grind, but it's super early in the morning. It's about 3:30. So letting the truck warm up. We are going to be headed back down to North Carolina. Got a nice little partial load. It's only like, I think 18 feet long and about 4,000 pounds. So customer mine, I don't really move a lot of stuff for them, but when I do, it's normally small because it's a rush load, just going to certain places. So they asked me if I could go down to North Carolina. I said sure. So we got about a 5-hour drive ahead of us, and we're gonna get down there, drop that off, and then have another pickup down in North Carolina that comes back up this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on the road. I'll see y'all down in North Carolina. Okay, it's daylight. We got down to High Point, North Carolina, dropped that load off. Didn't film the unload just because it was super quick. It was only 2 bundles of decking. Like I said, it was something from a customer that I don't really run a lot of stuff from, but when I do, it's normally a small load and a rush load. So, you know, since it was a special load, like I said, they paid for the whole truck. So, you know, even though it was a partial, whole truck gets it there just because special delivery, expedited, all that good stuff. But anyway, we are now in Greensboro. Had to think about that for a second. So after I dropped off in High Point, I came up here to Greensboro, which is only about 15, 17 miles or something from where I dropped off. And we're getting loaded with a few skids of brick, totaling 15,000, like 100 pounds or something like that. So a little smidge over 15,000 pounds, but it goes to York, Pennsylvania. I have an 8 o'clock appointment in the morning. So once I am done getting loaded, I'll show you guys the load. I'll get back to y'all. Whew. Man, it got hot out here quick. Sweating like crazy. So here's my load. Give you a picture. Boom. Easy. 5 skids of brick. It's really like 4.5. 5 or 15,000 pounds. Had the tarp. Got super hot out here in North Carolina. Humid, sweating through my shirt. I need a reefer, man. I need to hook up to a reefer or a van trailer so I can just open them doors and hop back in the truck. Nah, but I wouldn't change it. Sweating's good for you. Hard work, never hurt nobody. So we're loaded, tarp down, strap down, all that good stuff. Everything's looking good. Did me a nice little mid-trip inspection of everything to make sure everything's good to go on the truck and trailer, just because North Carolina DOT is hot today. Brake safety coming to an end, so they really trying to get them in. But we're gonna hit the road. I'll see y'all in a little bit. So this isn't how I wanted to end my video, but this is where we're at. I was on my way home last night. I got down there a little bit past that stoplight. I was coming this direction, and I heard a loud bang and a bunch of clanging after that. So trailer's disconnected. My boys over at Interstate have hooked the truck up, thinking I blew a rear. So we're gonna go get it checked out. Hopefully I can get it fixed soon. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, so definitely didn't want to be making this video, but it's part of trucking, right? So as you guys saw last, truck was being hooked up on the wrecker, taken to my boy's shop here over here at Interstate. I was going down the road and I was coming back home from North Carolina. Made a quick run down, made a quick run back. Everything was going good. Got loaded both directions. You know, making good money and stuff like that. And I got about a mile away from where I parked my truck. And I was sitting at the stoplight, and stoplight turned green. I go from first gear to second gear. I only had 15,000 pounds on the deck. But I go from first gear to second gear, and as I'm going through second gear, winding up, of course, get ready to go to third, pow, you know, I heard a loud boom, and it was like a pots and pans banging underneath my feet. So originally I thought that it was going to be something in the trans, just the way the truck was acting and what I could hear, the vibrations and stuff that I could feel underneath my feet. So like I said, I was 3/4 of a mile from where I parked my truck, and I figured, you know, the damage is already done. I can't sit here in the middle of the road 7 o'clock or so in the afternoon. You know, it'd be hard pressed to get somebody to come out and tow me in a timely manner to where I'm not causing a bunch of issues with traffic. So I made the decision to just go ahead and limp it to my parking spot. So, you know, I stayed in second gear. I limped it to the parking spot. And the truck really wasn't doing anything other than making the sound. And then as I got closer to my parking spot, it actually started to struggle when I got into the parking spot, because you got to make a left-hand turn and come up like just a little gradual hill. That's when it started like it didn't want to go. And then the sounds that it was making, it was the same sound, but it kind of sounded like it was in a different spot. So once I got it to my yard, I unhooked it, pulled it from the trailer, and you know, my buddies came with the wrecker and got it. And so get it to the shop and you know, start looking around, and the first thing we checked was the rear, and there's the problem. Rear end's gone. Basically put a magnet down in the fill hole and pulled chunks out of it the size of my thumb. So that means she's got to get a new rear. It sucks because nobody wants to be down. Nobody wants to have to spend money on a repair. But at the same time, you know, I look at the positive in things all the time. One of the positive is I was right down the street from my yard. So I didn't, you know, it didn't happen in North Carolina where I had a huge tow bill or something like that. And then second, it's not something that I wasn't expecting to replace. I wasn't expecting to replace the rear per se, but you know, I wanted to change the rear just to go to a lower ratio, so that, or a higher ratio, so that I could get a better top speed or better cruising speed at a better cruising RPM. That way I got better fuel mileage. So it happened a little prematurely, but you know, the good thing is at least it's something that went bad that I was going to replace. So that's the good news. The bad news is parts. As you guys know, it's COVID. Parts are hard to come by. Parts take long to get. So track down some parts, but I won't be able to get a new rear until next week, just because COVID has a hamper on things. Monday is a holiday as far as Labor Day. So I'll be set. You know, you save money for these things, set back some money for these things for when you have to set. Nobody wants to set for a week, but it happens. You know, that's what you have to prepare yourself for when you're in this business. You know, you want to prepare yourself for the worst. You know, like when I thought it was the transmission, I went ahead and put in my mind that it was the transmission, because that was worst case scenario as far as the amount of money that it was going to take to replace and the time that I'd be down to replace. So I've always been taught, you know, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So that's what I do. I prepared for the worst, which was the transmission. I hoped for the best, which was the rear, and it's the rear. Now, of course, I wish that it was nothing at all, but it is something. It's better than the trans, so we're just going to rock along with it. Still trying to get some logistics together as far as getting my load delivered, because I'm still loaded. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get that up to Pennsylvania, so that I can get that offloaded. If not, then it's just going to have to set on my trailer for a week. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. I've already, you know, contacted the broker and told them, you know, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what's going on. I apologize, but you know, that I can't predict these things. I don't know when these things are going to happen. That's part of trucking. They were pretty understanding, so we'll see as time goes on if they start getting impatient or what's going to go on. But I'm going to do my best to find a way to get it up there before my truck is done, because you know, nobody wants to have to wait a week for their product. And I don't expect anybody to wait a week for their product, but you know, this is the situation that I'm in. It's an unfortunate situation, so we just have to work with it. But you know, it's just crazy because everything was going so smoothly. You know, I had a good paying load going down that was a partial. You know, didn't pay partial money. And then I found a partial that was coming back. You know, there wasn't much in North Carolina coming back, but you know, just luckily I found this load. It was a partial load, 15,000 pounds, only took up 20 feet of deck space. And it was 15 miles from where my drop was in North Carolina, so hardly no deadhead at all to get to that pickup. You know, and it was paying almost just as good going back up, coming back home, as what it did coming down. So everything was going great. I made great time. I actually got down, unloaded, got to my pickup, loaded, and out of there and back here legally. Like, I mean, I was running good. You know, I didn't have to fudge my log or nothing. Got back here with time left. Even still had time left after my rear went and I limped it to my parking spot, you know, a half a mile. But it happens, you know, things were going good, then pow, things go bad, but there's always a reason for everything. So I'm not going to fret on it. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm just going to take it one day at a time. We're going to wait for this rear to get here. We're going to get it put in, and then we'll get back on the road. That's all we can do. So yeah, might not be a video for a week because I don't have any videos to do if I ain't in the truck. But if I do think of something to make a video of, I will definitely put it out there. So you guys stay safe. Keep trucking out there since I can't. You know, hopefully everybody had a good weekend and all that stuff and is back at it. And if you're having any problems, you know, repair problems, any life problems or anything like that, you know, take it from me. Things happen. It's all about what you do with what happened that's going to make you or break you. You know, you can either sit around and you can be depressed and upset about what happened, or you can look at the positives and keep on pushing forward and make sure that what you're doing is still going to be doing. Make sure you're still going to be successful no matter what bumps you hit in the road. You know, the man upstairs is never going to put you on a path that he don't think you can travel. So if he thinks you can travel, then you best believe that you should think that you should travel. You know, you shouldn't put yourself down or think that this road is too hard, because the man upstairs would never put you on that road if he didn't think you could do it. So just remember that. So as always, everybody stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.